One argument against having a remote workforce is that there's a lack of connection between the employee and the employer. And that may be true if the employer is not putting in the effort to build that connection. I mean, the reality is, even with office based workers, you need to put in that effort. With remote workers, it's a different effort, maybe a harder effort, but it can be achieved. You can develop that connection and the culture that you want for your company. Last week, I introduced my trust success model, and we talked about the T in that model, standing for transparency, and how providing as much information as possible to the employee will actually help them feel more engaged and more dedicated to their work. The second part of the trust success model, the R, stands for results. And I'm not just talking about the end results, I'm talking about the milestones along the way and making sure as a leader that you recognize those accomplishments with your remote workers, especially. And there are other kinds of results you could look for. You could look for results in terms of how an employee maybe gives a presentation on a virtual meeting you have. You might recognize the results of a collaboration between a couple of your employees. And you might recognize the results of a improved process that one of your employees delivered. The fact of the matter is, you can develop that connection and that culture regardless of whether you have a remote workforce or an in office workforce. Next week, I'll come back to you with another step of the trust success model. Until then, be well and take care.